Well, for some of my new followers, you guys probably didn't know that back in 2015, I was up to 234 pounds. And today I'm like around like 160 to 170-ish, but like it took a lot of work, it took a lot of focus. And some people are like, how did you do that? I know some of you are not going to like to hear this, but I think it's something that needs to be emphasized that with any big changes in your life, they're not going to be done with a quick fix. They're not going to be done with just a pill or a week-long focus on dieting. It's got to be lifestyle choices for the long term, not the short term. The problem is we usually focus on we focus on short-term solutions for long-term changes. But typically what happens then is we bounce back. We fall back to where we were before, and the weight that we once lost comes right back. The first big change I made was quitting soda. Literally from drinking 3 to 4 cans a day to none, and water being my primary drink. And this was a habit I had for like 20 years or for most of my life, is loving and drinking soda. Like I remember used to drink like a ton of Sprecker's root beer and stuff like that. But the pain of going back to drinking soda and gaining that weight again outweighs the pleasure of touching another drink again. Second big change I made was I actually started eating vegetables. I had never eaten vegetables, or when I tried them when I was younger, I would literally gag on them. I was so scared of the textures, like literally that even putting it in my mouth and chewing it, like the gag reflex would come out. I mean, it sounds kind of bizarre, but it's true. And what I did to help get over that was I literally started conditioning myself to be aware of what was going on when I was eating and chewing, and to just face that fear. And over time, it got easier and easier to eat stuff that I was first so scared of, and then it was like, yeah, it's no big deal. But what both these things have in common is that I had to associate to the things I used to love. I had to associate more pain in holding on to and using those things than pleasure. Think of the psychologist Ivan Pavlov and his dogs, where he was able to condition and associate a bell ringing to the dogs salivating, because the dogs had an unconscious reaction that they thought they were going to get food every time that bell rang. He created an association between those things, a pleasurable stimulus. And that's what I was pretty much doing with myself. Pretty much, if we want to make big changes in our life, we just got to use psychology. It's going to take conditioning. It's going to take time and take focus. But we can do it. Except we're not being controlled as dogs. We're doing it to ourselves. So with me quitting soda, I had to find positive associations to drinking water, thinking about how it hydrates my body, thinking about and remembering how 90% of my body is water. And with vegetables, I actually would dance. I would actually have fun. I'd be creative with the foods that I created with vegetables. Again, positive association to the things that I want to go towards, and then associating pain toward the things I want to go away from, including junk food, including soda. And again, it took time, it took conditioning, but it was possible. And it's been all over 3 years now, and I've kept it down. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm very grateful that I've been able to. But I understand there are individuals out there where it's, they've gone up and down, up and down. And that's why I want to emphasize. It's about the long term, making big changes. It's got to be sustainable, not just attainable.